We will be exploring Zacapa Solera 23, and we're traveling to Guatemala, high above the clouds, at an altitude of 2,300 meters, where the casks for Zacapa rum are being stored and matured. Hello and welcome to another review here at Bespoke Unit. Today we'll be drinking Zacapa 23, a rum that has become a main staple in many rum lovers' back bars and cabinets, as well as with many cigar smokers, because Zacapa, quite a particular style of rum, offers a lot of luscious sweetness, depth, spice, mellowness that perfectly accompany quite a large range of cigars and different occasions. But let's get right into it and explore a little bit about the surrounding aspects, the history, and what makes Zacapa unique. The brand itself is not that old, but it has become an industry icon in a rather short period of time. Being part of the largest spirits manufacturer in the world, Diageo, Zacapa clearly has a real steamboat behind it. And with that, the global success story of Zacapa has been written. Manufactured in Guatemala, made of the so-called virgin sugarcane honey, that means the first press of the broken sugar cane, is then cooked and steamed into what's called this virgin sugarcane honey, a thick liquid, golden shimmering, but not as stark as molasses, for example. That is a century-old byproduct of the production of sugar. But in this particular case, the virgin sugarcane honey gives it a rather fresh, mellow, sweet, golden liquid sensation, whereas molasses can go in a rather dark aromatic sensation. But it's not a fresh sugarcane juice either that is then used for the manufacturing of this spirit, which you would traditionally find in either a French-styled rum like a Rum agricole, or the typical and traditional beverage of Brazil, cachaça. Now, the virgin sugarcane honey, after fermentation, goes into distillation, and the spirit, then the clear spirit, is being transferred into oak casks that have been previously used for the maturation of American whiskey, Spanish sherry, a fortified wine from Andalusia, and a rather particular style of sherry, which is called Pedro Jimenez, or PX, the sweetest, heaviest, darkest style of sherry. The Solera system is a traditional aging method used for the production of sherry. And it means a rotation of the liquid with the casks, where the younger qualities and the older qualities will be mixed continuously. Thus, the final product will have an average age, but bring some of the fresh sensations, but also some of the more characterful, more complex nuances from prolonged aging. So it's sort of the best of all worlds. As such, the indication of 23 on the bottle here does not necessarily mean that every single drop of the liquid here is 23 years old. With a cognac or certain types of whiskey, for example, that would be different, because once you state something on the label or on the bottle, it has to be the minimum age of every single drop. But not in this case. The rum regulations are less strict when it comes to that. But it also says Sistema Solera right over here. For those who know the process, it clearly indicates that it's an average age here. Then you would find the so-called petate band here, which is an old Mayan tradition. It's a woven techniques by ladies in Guatemala. And on top, the classical golden handwriting stating Ron Zacapa Centenario. Let's get to the tasting. A very dark roasted mahogany color here, mahogany brown that you would find. As always, don't be fooled by the color of particular spirits, because sugar caramel can be used for coloring of certain types of spirits, but also the viscosity and the legs, they will give you an indication about certain aromatic and taste qualities of the spirit. In this case, it's rather thick, heavy droplets that would run down the side of the glass in a very slow fashion. So the legs are quite slow and quite restrained here. The nose, creamy, caramelized, sugary. So a lot of sweetness, a lot of honey notes, a forest honey that I get, some nutty qualities as well. Charred roasted hazelnuts, some almonds and even walnuts in there. Chocolatey, a rich, bitter chocolate with a little bit of an ethereal freshness on top as well. So almost like a mint chocolate chip cookie there. Again, dark brown sugar, a gentle smokiness that could remind you of pipe tobacco, a little bit of mint, even basil and thyme, and then it all comes back to that vanilla-y, caramel, nutmeg and mace quality. It's a very mellow bouquet. It's a thick, intense aromatic that I sense here with quite a bit of complexity, and I would say a medium plus diversity. Now, when it comes to the palate and tasting, let's take a sip. This is certainly a sweet opening again. It's thick, it's oily, it's mouth coating. I get some dried fruits, prunes, accompanied by a little bit of the charred nuttiness that we had in the nose already. Also in the very back, that ethereal quality, almost like eucalyptus this time. And again, some of that mint is coming back and it lightens up the entire experience just a little bit. And on the side of the palate, we get some astringency, we get some woody dryness, and some of that dried fruit, sweet, raisiny character that you would find with Pedro Jimenez sherry. I also get a licorice in the very back, and then golden syrup, honey, and vanilla cream. The pairings are rather obvious. You could have this with a dessert if it's not too much of the sweetness for you, but pouring a little drop of that into your tiramisu and then enjoying the two of them side by side would be an excellent choice. If you want to contrast, I would pick something that is fresher, that is a bit more lively and citrusy, like a key lime pie. Or you could also think of pairing this with a fresh ceviche, where you have some citrus. Or certainly with cigars, this rum would be an excellent choice. For me personally, I'd probably choose a Cameroon wrapped cigar, a typical Arturo Fuente with that distinct Cameroon wrapper from the Mirafil family would be an excellent choice, where you also find a combination of sweetness, a little spice in there, and with the characterful blend underneath with the filler and binder tobacco. That would be an exceptional pairing with the Zacapa 23. Now, I have to say the finish, it's lingering, it's still there. So it's a very sweet characteristic that's still sitting on my palate. And when you compare that with the Zacapa XO, which we will taste another time, you will see that you get a much longer finish that is more diverse and more complex. In general, this is a very pleasant, very enjoyable rum. You could have it neat on its own. You can certainly make an exceptional daiquiri with it, or probably a rum old fashioned. Even a highball or long drink if you want to top this off with some ginger beer, for example, and make a variation on a dark and stormy, it would certainly work as well. Distinct bottle, great touch with the patate, and always a treat. Easy to sip. And with that, I'll leave it to you, and I'll see you next time here on Bespoke Unit with another spirits review. Pour yourselves a great glass, stay safe and stay healthy. See you next time with my very best wishes and spirits.